What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here, bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified Series unboxing and review. That's right, folks, we have another review. It is Saturday. That means I review Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, anything that I've picked up recently that I want to share with you guys. And right now I've got something today that is fairly new, should just be hitting your toy stores now or hitting your mailbox, depending on if you find them in store or if you order them online. And today we are going back to the retro subline within the G.I. Joe Classified series. And that's right, today up on the docket for review we have G.I. Joe's own Jungle Warrior Recondo. Let's talk about it. Yeah, it's funny, I called him Jungle Warrior, which is not even close to what it is. He's a, let me see what he's actually called, because I can't remember. Wow, they don't even have it on here anymore. That's kind of surprising. What was he called? Jungle Reconnaissance, maybe? The reason I said Jungle Warriors, I was thinking, do you guys remember the action figure therapy? If you don't know action figure therapy, I highly recommend you, after you watch this video, jump over, type that into the YouTube search engine, and watch a few videos of action figure therapy, because they actually use Recondo in their stories. They actually use a lot of different G.I. Joes, but the Recondo one's called Jungle is what they call him. So anyway, I'm getting completely off track here. I want to talk about this figure today because, as we know, the retro line of G.I. Joe Classified figures used to be a Walmart exclusive. It is now a mainline subline of the Classified line. You can find them now. People are finding them at Targets. They are not exclusive to Walmart anymore. I actually picked up this figure at my local comic book shop. So I had no plans on actually getting Recondo, but they were just then, as I came in to pick up comics, they were unboxing their shipment that had just came in, and Recondo is the shipment they had. It was just Recondo. So I went ahead and picked him up because I couldn't help myself. It was right there. And I am so glad, at least thus far, that I picked this up, because I'm really wanting to talk about how great the card is on this figure. And yeah, first of all, before we get too much further, welcome to the channel. My name's Mark. I'm with Coffee&Toys. I do figure reviews, comic book reviews, you know, anything from my childhood that I feel like is worth talking about, you know, that nostalgia thing. I do that. I review stuff. We have a pretty loose schedule where Fridays I do comics, Saturdays I do action figure reviews, Sundays I do retro vintage G.I. Joe figure reviews, and then on Mondays I do reviews of the original A Real American Hero run from Marvel Comics. So just to give you that quick little laydown, if you're coming back, welcome. Make sure, before we move any further, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification, set it to all notifications so you can see the next video when it comes out, fresh and early, just like this one. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to review the box first, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to see what we like, what we don't like, and then we'll move on and we'll unbox the figure, because I am primarily an out-of-box collector, if you couldn't tell behind me. And yeah, I'll say what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a little bit of comparison at the end, and yeah, wrap up those final thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump over and check out G.I. Joe Classified Series Recondo. And here we have it. G.I. Joe Classified Series Recondo. This is the version 1 of the figure. Now, you may recall that we have already gotten Recondo in the Classified line as part of the Tiger Force sub-team exclusive to Target. So everybody and their brother pretty much knew that, okay, if we're getting Tiger Force Recondo, it's only a matter of time before we get the regular release, the version 1 of Recondo in the Classified line. And here we have it. It is actually part of the retro line of G.I. Joe Classified figures that, like I said earlier, was exclusive to Walmart, but is now a mainline item that you can pick up at anywhere toys are sold. And yeah, let's talk about this packaging. This is fantastic. This card is the thing everybody's been talking about, and I'm going to talk about too. The moment I got this in my grubby little hands, this card is so incredibly thick. You can see just how many layers there are to this card. It looks like there are 2 layers, possibly 3. And you can see me kind of picking on it because I'm going to open this thing up anyway. But you can see this is very thick. They did us right by doing this and keeping it that way. And yeah, otherwise, the only thing I kind of nitpicked on that I didn't notice is that they have his name Recondo, but nowhere on here does it actually say like the vintage figures where it says like Jungle Trooper or anything of that sort of nature. But as you can see, we do get this very nice plastic bubble. He does come with a stand. I can see that. You can see his entire loadout right here. And yeah, we got the Hasbro logo down in the corner. And if we spin it around, oh yes, we do have a file card. Now it is that multilingual file card, but hey, in my opinion, some file card is better than no file card. And of course, down here we have the cross-sell for this wave, which includes Scarlet, and this will be a brand new Scarlet, almost entirely new from my understanding, and a almost completely new Duke as well. We will have a new head sculpt on this Duke figure that's coming out, and all three of these figures are currently landing on people's doorsteps or at finer brick and mortar stores. We'll put it that way. And then down here on the bottom, we have all of our legalese and our UPC and whatnot. But yeah, there we go. As you can see, oh, it does say roll Jungle Trooper. I wish it said that on the front. And of course, you can see Recondo hates the cold. He loves hauling a rucksack through the bush and sweating through his camis. When he's in the jungle, he owns it. Anyone else is trespassing. Very cool. Very, very cool. But like I said, on this channel, we do open our figures. So let me get Recondo out of the box and we'll see what this figure is really all about. Okay, we have Recondo out of his plastic prison and we're ready to just take a look at him. And you know, I'm really glad I picked up this figure. I've liked Recondo. I've always thought he was a rather cool character. I like having, I've always just been a sucker for jungle experts. And yeah, again, with the action figure therapy, I always think Recondo is pretty fun, and I always hear their version of his voice in my head versus like the cartoon version of him. But anyway, it's the exact same figure that we got. If you own the Tiger Force version, you have the exact same figure. There are no differences other than paint deco, and we will review that. We'll do a side-by-side here in a bit. But yeah, looks fantastic. I guess we can go ahead and zoom in on this wonderful face sculpt. Again, this is a solid face sculpt. Looks fantastic. That mustache, ugh, so awesome. Got a little bit of darker hair on this one, I think. The mustache is a little bit darker. Of course, we have this web gear across him. I do believe this is the same upper body used for Duke, at least with the torso. Of course, we got the web gear all around him, and this, you know, this is all one extra piece. Moving down, we have his classic camo pants. I love the striping detail on this. Looks very, very good. Of course, this is pinless elbows, pinless knees. And of course, we got his boots down here with black and brown. Very good. Got even the detail on the buckles. Very, very good. Wonderful looking figure. And I should have pointed out we also do have his logo there on his arm, which was not on the other figure. So that's an additional thing they added to the figure for this one outside of just the redeco of it. So let's go ahead and stand him back up. Now we know that he is more than just a figure of himself. He does come with his accessories, and we will start with, again, a stand. This should be standard for all classified figures moving forward. I said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I love that they put this in for the retro classified figures. They even start giving them to us in the 60th anniversary G.I. Joe classified figures of the Action Sailor and Action Soldier. Hasbro, go ahead and give us stands for all the figures. I think you guys can afford it. If it raises the price by a nickel, raise it by a nickel, because I would pay for a stand all day. That being said, he also comes with his backpack, and it's cast in a kind of grayish, almost green color with the brown sack on top of it. Of course, it just pegs into his back. We do get his kukri knife, which I had somebody correct me when I did the other Recondo. This is a kukri knife, not a machete. So just in case anybody was curious, kukri knife. And it's, you know, typical silver blade, kind of that same greenish gray handle. We do have a small sidearm for him. It does have an opening in it, so you can put a blast effect, cast in that same grayish green color. And then his longer rifle that's got the white wrap around it. That's pretty much, you know, that is Recondo's gun when you see this. And yeah, it's cast in that same color and also has an opening on the end for you to be able to put a blast effect in there if you want to. I'll zoom in so you can see it a little better. I love the wrap. Just gives it a little more detail, makes it more of his own gun. So yeah, very cool. And finally, last but not least, we have Recondo's famous hat. And I can't remember the type of hat this is called. If somebody wants to drop me a comment and tell me what type of hat this is called, I don't know if it's not a boonie hat, I don't think, but whatever the name of it is, but it is cast in that same color. It's got the brown leather strap around the top of it, and it's folded up on the side. I believe these are, I can't remember what they're called. I really wish I could, but famous in Australia and New Zealand and places of that sort. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the figure. Let's go ahead and get him accessorized, and then we'll do a little bit of comparisons, and I'll give you my final thoughts on G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Recondo. Okay, there we have it. We have Recondo all geared up. Again, he can hold all of his weapons. Got his sidearm in that front holster. Got his kukri down on his sheath on his left thigh, and of course his rifle in his hand, his hat on his head, and his backpack on his back. Looks fantastic, displays fantastic, and like I said, I wasn't going to pick up this figure because I told myself I was going to do it the opposite of most people. I was going to get subline versions of a figure. That way I wouldn't have to get the main line. But I am really glad I picked him up. But with that being said, let's go ahead and bring in the other version of Recondo, Tiger Force Recondo. So you guys can see the differences between the two characters side by side. And hopefully I can get them both to stand up so that you can see them both. And as you can see, like I said, they are identical in every way, shape, and form, except for the color palette that's being used. And if I can just get him to stand up a little better, that'd be fantastic. There we go. So as you can see, they are just about the same. I will point out that if we zoom in a bit, the mustache and hair on the retro version of Recondo is darker, and the eyes are darker. So there is some differences there. I'll go ahead and zoom this out a little bit, bring them in close so you can really get a good look at the two. But yes, there is a difference in the darkness of the hair and the eyes. So interesting they chose to go that route. But otherwise, I mean, they are identical. They are the same figure. So of course, Hasbro is going to do what they can to use that mold to the best of their ability. I'm going to go ahead and move one Mr. Tiger Force Recondo out of the way. But yeah, you guys tell me, which one do you like more in the comments? Do you like the Tiger Force version of Recondo? Do you like this version of Recondo more? And let me ask a follow-up question. Did you get in on the HasLab Dragonfly? And do you think there'll be a Tiger Force Dragonfly for Recondo to fly? Or are you going to put this version in your Dragonfly to fly it around? But yeah, I think overall, great figure. If you see it in stores, I highly recommend picking it up. It should be, MSRP, I think, is $25 on it. Might even be available still on HasbroPulse.com. Highly recommend this figure. Glad I picked up. Glad to have this version of Recondo in my collection. Going to get him added to the shelf real quick. Make sure you like the video. It really helps me out if you've enjoyed the content that you've gotten from this video. I do have more figures coming up. I do have the newest wave of classified figures, the Quick Kick, Big Boa, Techno Viper, and who's the other one? Airborne, another Dragonfly candidate. So yeah, I will be getting those reviews up on the channel soon. But otherwise, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you check out my other videos. And I'm Mark. You've been watching Coffee with Toys, and I'll see you later.